Welcome to Foundation Friday. The dedication and covenant of silent unity was signed on December 7th, 1892 by Charles and Myrtle Fillmore, founders of the Unity movement. It is unlikely when they signed this covenant that they had any idea how far-reaching unity would be as it evolved into the church we know and love today. We invite you to join us as we explore and share some of the original ideas, teachings, and writings of the men and women who created the foundation of the Unity Church.
Hi, thank you for joining us today for Foundation Friday. Friday is the day we stop and take a few minutes and kind of reflect on some of the wisdom from those who came before us in the Unity movement. Today, I have a reading for you that came from the Unity magazine in 1923. This is from November 1923. And the article is written by Alice L. Ruth. I hope you enjoy it. Harmony in the mind makes harmony in the home. Your face certainly radiates satisfaction this morning, Mrs. Willing, said Mrs. Ransom as she seated her caller in a vine-shaded corner of her roomy side porch. Thank you, Mrs. Ransom, replied Mrs. Willing. I've been thinking as I walked over of the great transformation which truth has wrought in my home. Many things that once kept me under constant strain have ceased to annoy me, and others have disappeared. The boys no longer embarrass me in the presence of company. The idea of omnipresence has impressed them deeply. They have gained a self-respect and a respect for people and things that seemed quite lacking in them. We have all had many struggles. Often I have closed my lips in prayer until I could speak calmly. I learned that taking 5 or 10 minutes a day at whatever time seemed convenient to deny, to affirm, and to meditate was not sufficient. But the discouragements and failures became an incentive for greater concentration. Over and over, I affirmed, I seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness. I declared repeatedly, blessed are they that hunger and thirst after righteousness, for they shall be filled. Then I resolved to have my silence at a regular time. The children, except May or Jack, are at school at the time decided upon. I give them something for their amusement, silently put them in God's protection, and withdraw. These half-hour periods of concentration bring me love and peace and a gentleness of feeling for all, even when I see their mistakes. The children, too, have grown more loving. Yesterday, May sat in her little rocker, softly saying to herself, love, love, love. Presently, she arose and went out saying, I can love Jack even if he did spill my goldfish. With great thankfulness, I saw vividly the new spirit of my home. The girls no longer try to evade their work. Cora has had much to overcome. She has artistic taste and temperament. Music, flowers, pictures, and pretty clothes are her delight. Vera and Della love those things too, but they claim that such tastes are no excuse for indolence. For some time, Cora protested bitterly and sometimes tearfully against washing dishes or cleaning vegetables. One day, she said that she would be glad to do the upstairs work if she could be released from the kitchen. Vera immediately said, if mother is willing, I'll do all your work in the kitchen and more, and you may have the upstairs for yours. I consented, glad indeed to note Vera's amiable concession. Once Vera would have said, "Yes, you'd like to get out upstairs, out of sight and read until the dishes are washed." Cora surprises me with the energy, order, and cleanliness which she brings to bear upon those rooms. The covers are drawn smoothly over the beds. Toilet articles are removed from the dresser tops and placed neatly in convenient drawers or boxes. Mirrors are polished. No clothing is hung over the chairs, and no shoes are pushed under the bed. And the sweeping and the dusting are done thoroughly. For many weeks now, Cora has been doing this work faithfully as unto the Lord. I have learned that much of the inharmony of my home was due to my own inefficiency and lack of forethought. Parents must manage their children, or their children will manage them. I could not allow my girls to run out for a game, a chat, or a frolic while in the midst of their work and maintain the order for which we were striving. Their sports had to be reduced to a system. I tried several plans, but the one that worked best through the long summer vacation was to let them have evenings from 7:30 to 10 to go out or have company, and 3 afternoons each week from 2:30 till 5. I always knew where they went and who their companions were, and encouraged them in having their company at home. They sometimes went out on other afternoons when there was no special work to be done, but the duties that promoted the comfort of the family were held to be of first importance. This established a self-discipline and a feeling of responsibility. It is a good thing to put a time limit on children's sport. The regrettable incident usually occurs after it's time to go home. The 10 o'clock limit has worked well. Some mothers who haven't the courage to insist upon it in their own homes are glad to have their young folk entertained at our house because they can be sure their children will come home at a reasonable hour. There is no lack of hospitality. The girls and boys know that they are welcome until 10 o'clock. And my girls have every evening to enjoy without overtaxing their strength and without infringing upon the demands of the next day. I am glad that you are seeing the rewards of your persistent effort, Mrs. Willing, said Mrs. Ransom. What was the most helpful factor in bringing about such happy results? To give it briefly, Mrs. Ransom, the silence was the real solution. There, I gained inspiration, courage, and mastery. I saw my own weak points. I had been starting my days without a plan and calling the children to assist here and there as their needs came. But the children were busy with their own plans and they objected to being disturbed. Sometimes they were not to be found when the need was the greatest. I worked and fretted myself into exhaustion every day, and no one seemed to care. The silence brought wisdom and poise, and I learned to let some things go and to direct others firmly and lovingly to work for God or good rather than to please my family. In doing this, I am serving my family better than ever before. The end. I hope you enjoyed that little peek into what life might have been like in 1923. I really enjoyed the peek into family life and trying to get the kids to do different chores. I personally was a little surprised at the 10 p.m. Uh, curfew cutoff time for the kids. Honestly, I thought it would have been much earlier, like 8. So I enjoyed this reading very much. I hope you did too. A check back into our foundation here at Unity. Thank you for joining us. Namaste.
Thank you for joining us, and let's stay connected and grow in spirit. We are on Facebook. Search for Unity Church of El Cajon and follow us and like our posts. You can reach us on YouTube at Unity Church of El Cajon. Please subscribe to our channel, watch our videos, and leave comments which can help us improve. We are on the web at unityofelcajon.org. Email or call our church office to receive our weekly newsletters, which lists all of our activities and opportunities to learn and grow together.